Yo guys, what is up? It is Tofu. I am super excited to bring this video to you guys because they recently just announced that there are Legion changes on the way, which is so exciting. I am so extremely excited. I know everyone's been complaining about Legion, including myself. He's been such a problem on this game for so long. And they announced some changes, and I'll be honest, there's been a lot of feedback on these changes already. Of course, it's like hasn't even been out yet. It's just scheduled to be out on PTB. But I wanted to take a look at them and see how they look on paper and discuss with you guys how I feel about them. So let's go. All right, guys. So before we actually take a look at the patch notes, I want to talk about real quick about Legion and his problems before. I already made a video about this. I talked about it briefly, but to sum up Legion's issues that he's had, Legion currently in the current live build is a 4.4 killer, so he's slightly slower, about the same speed as Hag/Huntress. His ability is pretty much unavoidable. When he pops his M2, as long as he has line of sight of you, it's basically impossible to avoid getting hit because he can vault every pallet and window that you vault, and he moves extremely fast, and he can swing like a million times, and even if he misses, it doesn't matter. His cooldown's like non-existent. He has like unrelenting 10,000. It's ridiculous. So he's ridiculous right now. He's absurd. On top of that, he's anti-stealth, so even if you're a stealth player, you still can't have fun against him. He's just everything that's fun about the game, he just destroys. Chases just don't exist with him because he'll just spam his ability every single time it's off cooldown, and then he'll hit you and then wait for it to come off cooldown and then do it again and then do it again and do it again until you go down. It makes the game really stale and boring and unfun. All right, with that being said, I want to go hop into the changes. I'll pull up an image of the changes real quick, and then we'll talk about everything that's being changed and how I feel about it. All right, so let's hop right into this. I'm not really going into this with any kind of format. I'm just gonna wing it. Okay, so the Legion's base movement speed is increased to 4.6. This is a huge change. If you guys don't know, movement speed is so important in this game. It is the most important thing in this game as far as stats go. So him becoming a 4.6 killer and no longer being a 4.4 killer means that he's viable in a regular M1 chase, right? Where like if you're injured and he's chasing you, he has a pretty decent chance of catching you by just M1ing you. Whereas as a 4.4 killer, you're much less likely to actually get an M1, and you're a lot more reliant on your ability because, you know, survivors can loop you so much easier, and it's so much harder to catch up to people. And because of that, because he's faster, they also increase his terror radius to 32 meters. I'm assuming that's to help you out because Legion gets basically his first hits for free. I think they're trying to prevent you from getting a really small terror radius and basically sneaking up on people and one-shot downing them, in case you want to do the, you know, not heal strat against them, which I'm sure some people will still do, but it'll be a little bit more risky now because he moves a little bit faster, so you got to be a little bit careful with it. Anyway, most of Legion's add-ons are rebalanced and reworked to account for the changes to Feral Frenzy. I don't know if it says that. I guess we'll see. The Iridescent Button add-on no longer requires Legion to apply deep wounds for the effects to be active. Okay, so it's just always active, which is, you know, fair enough. Okay, Feral Frenzy update. The recharge time of Feral Frenzy is increased and now requires a full power gauge to use. Once it has been activated, the Legion must wait until the power gauge is full to be able to trigger the power again. So, basically, if you use your power and get a hit or get a bunch of hits, you have to wait for Feral Frenzy to come back up before you use it again. You can't wait for Feral Frenzy to charge like a quarter of the way and then push it again. You have to wait the full cooldown. So you can't spam it so much anymore. Okay, but the duration is increased. The Legion spends longer in Frenzy. Okay. The movement speed is significantly reduced. The Legion moves faster than base speed while in Frenzy, but not as fast as they did before. So it's slightly, it says significantly reduced, but I'm pretty, it's still faster than base speed, and it lasts even longer. So I don't think it'll be an issue. You're still going to catch up to survivors very fast, and especially with the time being increased. If you have more time to spend in Frenzy, and even at a reduced speed, as long as you're running significantly faster than he's going to be moving faster than 4.6. So even if he's moving like 5.0, that is plenty. 5.0 with an increased timer. I think base timer right now is 6 seconds. So we'll just throw out numbers. If it's like 5.0 for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 seconds, that's going to be plenty. That'll be you'll easily be able to catch up to people. Anyway, the Legion can no longer see blood pools in addition to not seeing scratch marks while in Frenzy, which is good. That way he can't. I mean, that's not really a big deal because I think they're also making it. We'll get to it in the debut update, but that's a pretty good change. But that's not really a big deal based on the rest of the changes. Feral Frenzy is immediately and automatically canceled whenever the Legion misses an attack. See, this is also a big one. All right, because one of the major problems with with Legion right now is that when he's in Feral Frenzy, he can just swing like crazy. Like he doesn't even have to try to hit you. He can just run at you, spamming M1, and even if you make him miss 3 hits, he'll just hit his 4th one, or his 5th one, or his 8th one, or his 10th one, because he can literally swing over and over again with like no penalty whatsoever for missing. So now, if the Legion gets aggressive and goes for a swing that he doesn't end up landing, he gets hard punished. He gets very hard punished. So you're actually rewarded as a survivor for finding a way to get him to miss. All right, deep wound update. The deep wounds timer pauses for survivors within the killer's terror radius. Okay. I forgot to mention another problem with Legion from before, but I guess I'll bring it up now, is moonwalking Legions, which if you guys don't know, in the current live build with Legion, if someone's in deep wounds, which, you know, happens whenever you hit them with your ability, it puts them in deep wounds. If someone's in deep wounds, as long as you're not in a chase with them, they bleed out. But the chase mechanics in this game are kind of finicky. Like, the requirements of a chase is that you're looking at the survivor sprinting, and you're within 12 meters. I'm pretty sure it's 12 meters. So knowing that, you can kind of take advantage and, you know, follow people while not being in a chase. You can either let them get more than 12 meters away and then just follow them from far away, or you can chase them while looking the other way, because as long as you're not actually looking at them, you won't be in a chase. So basically, you can follow people while their bleed bar goes down, and you basically catch them for free. It's like literally the worst thing ever. This counters that. So now, if you're in the terror radius of the killer at all, and remember that Legion has a 32-meter terror radius, you won't bleed out. On top of that, it also pauses while mending. So if you do get out of the terror radius and you're bleeding out, but then you find a place and you start mending, you won't bleed out while mending. So that will stop it from getting in those scenarios where you get away from the Legion, you start mending, and then he randomly comes over to you, and then you're sitting there with no bar, and then you go down, right? If you start mending at like 80%, even if the Legion comes up to you later, you'll still be at 80%. So, all right. Also, the killer does not see the deep wound timer progress. Only the deep wounds bar. Only the deep wound bar to know that deep wound has been applied. So basically, it's going to be similar to pig traps now, where like when you're a pig and you put a trap on someone, you can't actually see the timer as pig. You kind of just see that it's active. And the survivors are the only ones that actually see the bar. So that is most likely to stop them from being able to use it as a tracking tool, right? Like, for instance, if you put someone in deep wounds, you can keep an eye on the bar, and then whenever the bar starts to tick down, you know that they're out of terror radius, so that you know that there's nowhere they're nowhere near you. So if that change wasn't made, it probably would have been really easy to like track people. So I think that's why that was changed, which is good. I like that. That's a good change. And the deep wound, this is the big one. This is the biggest change. Literally the single biggest change is this bottom line. The deep wound's time of progress is no longer reduced by regular Feral Frenzy attacks. Thank fucking Jesus. This is the biggest thing that me and everyone I've talked to has had against Legion, is the fact that he can just spam his ability over and over again. It's such a powerful ability. It's so hard to avoid that you basically, all your chases are on a timer because he doesn't actually have to earn his downs. All he has to do is hit his ability and then vault everything you vault. So now, that's a summary of all these changes, right? Those are all the changes. Now, what I found surprising is I read these, I came home, I saw these, and I was ecstatic. These look amazing to me, these changes. But it seems that other people don't agree. There seems to be a lot of feedback on different, Twitter, Reddit, all kinds of places where people seem to not like these changes. People are saying that Legion is going to be worse than Freddy now, and that he got completely gutted. And it confuses me quite a bit, to be honest with you. All right, so to talk about that, like, those are the changes. To talk about what this is going to do, okay? Like, remember that he's a 4.6 killer now, okay? That is a huge deal. Like, yeah, this is almost a full page of nerfs, right? The recharge time, the duration got increased, but most of it is nerfs, right? They like raise his terror radius. They made his Feral Frenzy slightly weaker because you can't, spam it on people. I don't think I think the timer and the speed kind of counteract each other. So I think that's actually okay. I don't think I'm pretty sure, depending on what numbers they use, you might even get more distance on a Feral Frenzy now as opposed to before, but we'll have to wait and see. But generally, the power got slightly nerfed, right? Like, you basically, the big thing is that you can't miss, you can't just like swing randomly, and B, you can't down people with it. You know, you can only use it to get the injured state and spread damage and make people mend. That's it. You can't down people. And on top of that, the fact that you can't activate it until it's full is also kind of a big deal. So that's really it. But him being a 4.6 killer now means that his power is still so strong that he gets a guaranteed first hit. People will go injured guaranteed unless you're, you know, really bad and they somehow make you miss. But with you having a longer frenzy, you should be able to take your time and make sure that you get your hits. So assuming you get the hit on the survivor, they'll go injured, and then you're a 4.6 killer. You're basically like a wraith, you know, trapper, hillbilly speed killer that all you have to do is run down the survivor and get a hit on him. If you can get one hit on the survivor, they're done. It basically turns you into a one-shot down killer, essentially. You just have to take a second to use your ability first, and then you're basically a one-shot down killer. On top of that, he also still has the tracking from his ability, so, and with a bigger terror radius now. So when you do get your first hit with Feral Frenzy, you'll still see the heartbeats, and you'll know where everyone is within a 32-meter range, let alone if you put on Monitor and Abuse or some other perks that raise your terror radius. So not only is he a strong killer as far as just being able to one-shot down people, but he'll also be able to find people and be really good against stealth. So he's going to be good at tracking, he's going to be good at chasing, considering he only needs to get one hit. And he has a built-in slowdown mechanic with having to mend, right? Assuming you do hit multiple people and then commit to one person, those people then have to mend, and then they have to decide whether they want to heal or not, because you're a 4.6 killer. You're a threat now. Whereas when you're a 4.4 killer, when Legion was 4.4, he wasn't much of a threat. So you could just not heal and it wouldn't really be an issue because, you know, he wasn't really hard to loop. But now that it's 4.6, he's actually going to be a threat. So people are going to consider, like me, myself, when I play Survivor, I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might heal, I might not. I don't even know. I used to never heal against Legion. I might now, I'm not sure. But if they don't heal, then you can go around one-shot downing every survivor. If they do heal, then that's even more time that's slowing down the game. I don't get it. I'm going to be honest. I don't get it. On paper, this feels incredibly strong to me. Not incredibly strong. He's not going to be a top-tier killer. But he's not going to be worse than Freddy. He's not even going to be among the bottom killers. I think he's going to be better than most. I think he'll be right around, I mean, I don't want to get into killer tier list because I know everyone disagrees, but I think he'll be right around like the higher mid-tier level because I don't see why he wouldn't. He's fast, he has tracking, he has slowdown. He basically will get one shot down so people don't heal, and if people do heal, then he has a really, really good built-in slow down the game mechanic. I'm not sure what the big fuss is about this. I love these changes. I'm really excited to see them. I'm really excited to test them. I'm really excited to for them to come to live so I can stop getting moonwalked by every Legion that I run into. That would be fantastic. I think that's all I really want to say about this. Please let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious. Again, I'm still blown away that so many people seem to be so against these changes and think that they're bad. So, I don't know. I personally love him. I think he's going to be amazing. I'm planning on playing the shit out of Legion after these changes. He might even be one of my main go-tos to play, especially since he has anti-stealth. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys all for clicking and hanging out and listening to me rant. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Remember to sub and like and all that shit. But actually comment if you have something to say because I'm down to hang out and talk to you guys about it because I'm curious on your thoughts. And yeah, thank you guys for chilling. That's it for me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later. I'll see you later.